This is why I think that gay men and bisexual men really need their own space, away from the rest. This is why I don't think they should be including, the L for sure, because Sylvia Rivera, this guy, interview 1992, he talks about all the non-participation that lesbians put in with the gay men. Let's hear what he has to say.
You mean you're talking about the Gay Community Center? Or?
Right, the Gay Community Center, whatever they call it. Now, the lesbian gays, I still call, to me, there's only one word. It's gay. Lesbians and gays, as far as in my book, through all the years that I've been in the movement, I've always had the respect for the lesbians and whatnot, but...
You see, in this case, I wouldn't have respect for the lesbians, because in this case, they were not putting themselves out there the way these gay men were. And they didn't suffer, and that's why they didn't have to, really. They didn't suffer in the same way. Cops don't beat down on women, even gay women. So, I mean, and yet they came in and what? The guys start off with the GLBT, and then they came in and said, we want top spot. And the gay men gave it to them and said, here, it's LGBT now. What's there to respect there?
Randy, you and I both know that when the Stonewall Rebellion started and the Stonewall Riots started, there were no gay women that were arrested. And why lesbians have to be put in front of the word gay when we're all gay, then we might as well just start a whole new segment in our history and have everybody define drag queens.
You see that this is the thing. Women do not want to be categorized with men. The nobility does not want to be put in with the peasants. That's why sorry, but the guys love having the girls around, but not vice versa. The girls like to have their own space and say, sorry, we are not one of these people.
Everything is lesbian and gay. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that it should be that way.
Well, during the Stone...
Yeah, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. He would like there to be real unity, but there isn't real unity. The lesbians separate themselves out. So if I make a video like this, some loser will come in and say, oh, you're just trying to, put a wedge between us or put a separation. The lesbians separate themselves out from the gay men immediately, all the time, right? They do it themselves because, frankly, they weren't there getting their heads kicked in. By the way, of course, this guy has his comments turned off. Mine won't. You can come and say what you like over here. Because, I mean, if you look at the Stonewall Riots, what do you see? Right? You see that might be a girl, but, I mean, all the rest are guys. The most famous picture, here you go. All guys again. See? Because they know they're the ones who suffer from homophobia. Homophobia is disgust at the male sex. The average straight man who might try and beat up on one of these guys, he'll watch lesbian porn. There's night and day. Oh my God. Night and day. And this is one of the reasons why gay men should be angry too. I mean, I put in gay men being beaten by police. And the top spot is a lesbian couple that were beaten up by a couple of guys. They weren't beaten up by police. And I know that particular situation, from what I heard, they mouthed off at the guys. They weren't just minding their business on the train. They weren't just on the train making out, and then homophobia came. They mouthed off at these guys when they didn't have to. and yet they get top spot. And they're still there. And the rest, of course, men, right? And so when I actually put gay women being beat by police, of course, they're showing these two again. But let's see, will we actually see a police officer coming on to a woman? No, they show a gay man. God. Because it just proves everything I'm saying. Look, another police grabbing a man. They have to show these two lamos again because the police don't beat up on women. You have to really search and find it. If there was any kind of regularity to it, you'd see all kinds of photos here. So it proves that women just don't suffer the same way as guys do. But here's another point, guys. The Middle East that are supposed to be so anti-woman. I put in homosexuals being hanged in Iran. What do you see? You see gay men. Where are all the lesbians getting hanged? Gay men, gay men. I don't want to go too far down here because these are disturbing images to me, and and so this is actually the best picture in the way that it's the least disturbing. But come on, where are the lesbians? And this is the hateful, woman hateful Middle East. Come on, dudes, come to terms. Come to terms. Women do not suffer like men do. So when these guys were doing the Stonewall Riots, when they were standing up for themselves, they were the ones that had everything to lose. But the women had something to gain. They'd say, oh, we'll just attach ourselves to this and claim victimhood. Right? It's pretty shameful. And this is why I keep telling you guys, you gay men, have some self-respect. This guy at least showed some. He said, look, no women were actually arrested there. I believe he said arrested. It was very quiet when he said it. But that's what I got out of it. And so why don't you come to terms? Look, just a minute, I'll bring it up again. Here are these guys. They're all guys. They're standing up for their rights because they needed to. They got tired of getting themselves beaten up and murdered at times just for minding their own business. And there's no women here. The reason why lesbians say we're lesbians, we're not just gay people, is because they don't support these guys. They don't sacrifice. Saying good for you in the safety of some, your own home or a bar somewhere where these guys go out, that's not support. And they don't sacrifice. Like these guys are better come to terms with saying, we can't be validated by the opposite sex. They're not even sexually attracted to women. What's the point? It just goes to show even gay men still want to pander to the opposite sex, and they still want them around to validate, and both are a waste of time. Men really have to get used to the idea that men are alone, and we have to get used to being alone. That's just the way it is. Now, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Thank you.